Well, we promised we'd come back to the fire station and see the procedure that fire and rescue people will be going to go through their paces to get the job. And Kevin, you started with quite a few, and then now it's gone to the next set of the process. Where are we up to?
Yes, here we are on stage 2 of the assessments for both whole-time and retained firefighters. 4 stations we're looking for retained firefighters and for whole-time firefighters at Douglas Station. Today is really about coming on the back of stage 1, which was the bleep test and the hose running. This morning, this afternoon, tomorrow morning, we have 48 applicants presenting themselves for a further 6 tests and 1 final written reflection test.
Now the beauty of this is we're going to show people what's going on. Obviously it's too late for this year's intake, but in many years to come this will be quite a good idea for people to check out what's involved, I suppose.
Yes, I think it's vital that people who are considering applying for the Fire and Rescue Service in the future, this information will be available shortly online, and at any stage if there is someone considering to apply, then all they have to do is ring up. What do I actually need to practice for? What does it take to be a firefighter? And as I said previously, we are an equal opportunities employer, and I would welcome applicants from obviously the community of the island. That to me is very important to serve our island.
Right, well, we're looking at pictures. Take us through the different processes we're looking at.
Yes, certainly. One of the first exercises they'll do today is to climb a ladder to the height of 10 metres, over 30 foot in old money. They will take what we call a leg lock, which basically is you put your leg through the ladder and you hold on to the ladder by your legs. You're then asked to look backwards and to your right and to your left. That's really a test of, do people suffer from vertigo? How do they feel on a ladder? This is starting to align the process to what a modern firefighter, what we expect from them. The second test they'll come and do is to extend the ladder to a height of 10 metres, what we call to stop the ladder in its position and then to basically bring the ladder back down to its fully closed position. That's a test again of upper body strength. Again, can the candidate listen to instructions that are given? They'll then move round and they'll then go into what we call our breathing apparatus complex behind us, and they will wear a breathing apparatus set. However, they will not be what we call sealed up or under air, because they will not have had the training or the experience of doing that, and they'll be asked to go through a series of crawlways in the dark. Again, this is a test of, can the candidate listen to written instructions? How comfortable do they feel wearing a breathing apparatus set? And when they're in the dark, an unknown environment, what does it feel like? How do they feel about it? They'll be going through quite small crawlways and they'll be turning corners, so they're going to have to duck. Very much aligned to a modern firefighter going into a building which could be heavily smoke locked, and perhaps all they'll be able to use is the back of the hand or their foot on the floor, and it's a case of how do they feel. That is a very, very important test. Once they've gone through that test, a group will come together and they're asked then to do what we call a group exercise. This is to test, can people use equipment they're being given and use it in an intelligent way, be resourceful and work as a team, talk to each other, communicate. Is there anyone who's taking charge? Be influential and hopefully achieve the task that they've been set. That's really all the outside tests. They'll then go and then do a further 2 tests. One is an aptitude test where they have to dismantle a piece of equipment and then reassemble it in a certain period of time. And that's a piece of equipment where there's screw threads and they have to do ratchets, and that again is quite challenging. They're thinking about it, they're using the hands, and they're being logical in their thinking. And again, as a modern firefighter, that is important to us as a service. Once they've completed that, and the group will then move on as a group of 6 to upstairs, and they'll be given an exercise where they have to again use their initiative, think about what they're doing, and they'll be given a sheet with a number of items of equipment on it. They have to choose what they want, whether it's 25 litres of water or a chocolate bar or a piece of rope or a can of fuel to achieve the task. They have to prioritise what they want to use to complete the task. So again, working as a group, communicating, influencing, being logical, and that again is very important to us. Once they've achieved those 6 tests, seems a lot to do here this morning, but this is what we're looking for. These tests are very much aligned to what we expect in the fire and rescue service. I want my firefighters to be able to be logical, to use their common sense, to have practical ability, and that is very important. I believe that's what the Community Ireland expects as well. Once they've done all that, we then ask them to sit down and carry out a 15-minute written reflection test. How was it for you? What did it feel like? What did you like? What didn't you like? And again, I think that is, I know that's very important, and they take away from that their experiences. The successful applicants will be notified in due course, because this process, as I said, doesn't finish till tomorrow lunchtime, and then we will then go to what we call the stage 3, which is our interview stage. So that's where we're up to at the moment. Right. But a great day for this, marvellous day. We have got some very, very enthusiastic candidates who have presented themselves this morning, and I'd also like to thank the instructors and the people who have supported us in making this happen. They're all people from the Fire and Rescue Service, senior officers and junior officers, and they're all people from the Office of Human Resources, so great thank you to them.
How many are you going to get down to? What's your number you're going to be taking in?
Yes, what we're looking for is we're recruiting at 4 retained fire stations, and we're recruiting a number for Douglas Fire Station. So it won't be a large number of people. This is to replace people who have recently retired or are going to retire this year.
And the next chance after this, will it be some time in the future, a distant future?
Yeah, I would anticipate within the next 24 months that we will be going through this similar process. But hopefully, if we have a pool of successful people, then we'll be able to keep them on a holding list for a period of time.
Okay, well, anyone who is interested, make sure you've been watching this video so you know what it's about. And intensive, but obviously fascinating to watch these people go through the process. And you are looking for people who are going to be with you for what, up to 30 years?
Yes, certainly. You've heard me say before, I've been in the service for over 30 years. I can actually remember this type of process when I was applying to join the Fire and Rescue Service. The tasks were slightly different in those days. We had to change a wheel on a Mini Cooper, so that's how long ago it was. We had to saw a piece of wood to make sure we could use a saw and not cut our finger off. And one other test is we had to actually lift a 12-stone person and carry them across the back of the station. So yes, we have moved on, but I believe the tests that we are going through today and tomorrow give us a great insight into the ideal person that we need to be a firefighter in the Isle of Man Fire and Rescue Service.